I'm recording now. Okay. Hello and welcome. My name is Diette and thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Today, I'm going to show you the next project I'm working on, which is sculpture. Hi, this is Past Me. I am currently editing the last video, but I wanted to intro this one since it's in my forethought right now. As you can see, Buddy is behind me chillaxing and Basil's in his bed hanging out. I have a sponge wrapped around my mic to help cushion the sound. I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm working on in the back of my mind right now artistically. Over the course of filming and editing these videos, I wanted to work toward creating a universe where these creatures are living in harmony with their environment. In one of my brainstorm doodling sessions, this vision formed where I could see this world in a third dimension. A fantastical, fictional world where I can begin creating and forming conceptual art. This idea really gets me pumped. Because I can explore this concept through different forms of art. I'm really aching to get back into working with sculpture on a smaller scale. Now, in this particular drawing session, looking back on this, it was the Big Bang moment where this violin crashed into this planet and created this world. I swear to you that this shirt is completely coincidental. I did not plan out my wardrobe. I wrote the script, but I did not plan out my wardrobe. Of all the work I've recorded up to today, this particular drawing session is the one that I enjoyed the most. I remember after I completed it, thinking about how much I would love to get in and animate it. This particular drawing session sparks tons of ideas in my mind of what I can do artistically with this concept. Even as I'm writing this script, I'm flooded with a ton of creative ideas. Also, looking back, I can see how my work has been influenced by that particular session. I can remember the sketch. I can remember the sketch. I can remember the sketch that I did purely with the alcohol markers. It was a bit odd because I had actually stopped working on the architectural sketch to put this one on paper. It wasn't until I completed it that I realized I had essentially created this island which could be compared to that initial idea I had. So as I'm painting this flower repetitively, I'm beginning to see it a little more abstractly. I do like this color palette, primarily cobalt blue and dioxazine violet. As I'm painting with the oils, a concept idea came to me where this flower could serve as an umbrella for a bistro set, like a small round table, a couple of chairs. Which then, of course, leads to flashbacks of some of the great films that play with the concept of relativity and scale. Then I stumble upon this, which I had to stop and watch. Admittedly, I wasn't as interested in the storyline as I was the artwork and animation. These little creatures have undergone several style changes over the years, and this is my favorite iteration thus far, which sparked more ideas. Right now, I'm interested in focusing on the environment, so I'm going to begin fleshing out this concept a little bit further. Now, I mentioned that I'm itching to get back into sculpting, and one of the concept pieces that I created back in school has been collecting dust, and I've been wanting to redo it for a while. It's obviously broken, and I don't like the idea of having this big gaping hole at the top. So rather than repair it, I want to deconstruct it and build something new. So this is past me signing off of the intro to this video. Bye. Alright, I've finished publishing the last video to YouTube, which was where I wrapped up the flower project. Because I'm only using my mouse, I don't have a digital tablet. It's much easier to work in the basic shape tools that are available through the program. I figured I'd try and maybe learn XD a little bit more. It reads Illustrator files and Photoshop files. Like, you can import all of those files into this program. It's more designed for web development. As you can see, I took the basic shape of the treehouse that I want to build from the Lego reference image that's in the top left corner. Ideally, if I could replace the sculpture that I just took down with anything, this is sort of what I had in mind to do that with. It includes 2 little houses, which I think are fun to create, and a spiral staircase. So at first I decided to play around with different colors just to get a sense of the balance of where each color should be placed within the sculpture. Ultimately, I decided to dial that back and just go with the basic colors for now and flesh out the rest of the structure a little bit more. One of the things I wanted to add to this was lighting, and I thought if there is an inner home within the base of the tree that were lit up, it would also light up the surrounding area as well. So I added a door which should allow the light to pass through. I also felt like I wanted to incorporate the clock somehow, and I would have really loved to have done a clock tower, but I wasn't sure how to go about doing that. I figured the bottom half of the tree could work as a clock tower. So I spent a little time trying to design how that would look like within the trunk of this tree. While the concept art that I created was okay, I'm kind of thinking it would be a better idea to jump right in and bring this project into the little world that I sketched out earlier. So I've decided to do another mock-up. This time I played with different structures, shapes, while keeping my base and balance in mind. I sketched a thumbnail, then decided to use paper to mock up one of the ideas in 3D form. As I'm playing around with the paper and trying to visualize it on this platform, it just doesn't seem to work for me. I'm going to pull back, rein it in even further, and just start with a single tree. Again, I tried different ideas for the structure, thought I had it, but now I'm thinking I want to change the materials. And that's when I made the decision that I'm going to bring the island from my sketch into this cork platform. I'm going to turn this component into a physical 3D model. After seeing what other YouTubers are doing in sculpture, I was glad to see that tabletop gaming is very well documented, and it would be a smart to sculpt with that scale in mind. That way, these sculptures could potentially be used versus just sitting on a shelf collecting dust when the project is finished. I want to start with the eldest tree on this island. I want this to stand independently from and not fixed to the environment, so it could be placed anywhere. I decided to do a little YouTube digging to see what other artists are doing in the world of tree sculpting. I've taken in a few things from the videos, and here's the plan. I need to find all of my sculpting wire, and I want to try this first technique to get the basic wire sculpture. This feels quite solid and should still allow me to reposition branches easily without compromising the strength. I do want to bulk mine up more with some aluminum foil though. While the majority use foil to cover the wire entirely, I want to try wrapping the foil around the wire as if it were wire too. And this is where I found that technique. While this is a staging set, obviously large scale, I want to see how and if this works on a smaller scale. Lastly, I'm going to go in with Sculpey and begin defining all the detail. If you're interested in pursuing a similar project, I would highly recommend watching these YouTube videos. Now, originally I was planning to use mostly recycled objects, primarily cardboard and wood, but I'm going to save that for a different project in which those materials would work better for. I'm pretty sure I have most everything I need already to do this, and if not, I can pick anything up I'm missing. I have wire, aluminum foil, and Sculpey. Now, because this is going to be the oldest tree, I'm imagining what this tree would look like evolved. And I'm reminded of a previous piece I did, which would suit this concept well, so I'm going to use this as my primary reference. For my YouTube channel, I'm going to begin a playlist for this particular project on sculpting. I'm going to include the original video of Sketch 12 in that playlist. If you haven't already watched it, please do. I would love to hear any feedback, suggestions, or ideas you may have, so please comment on that video. Also, if the creative in you is interested in following along with what I'm doing, I would suggest grabbing a piece of paper, decide on an object that crash lands on your page, and create a world from your imagination. I'm planning to document everything that I do with this project, trials and errors included. This is as far as I'm going to go with the concept phase of this project. I've gathered references, done a bit of research, tried some mock-ups, determined my materials, and also fleshed out what I want to do. In my next video, I'm going to start sculpting. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested, I've gathered a few outtakes. I've been trying to do voiceover all in one take. That doesn't always work out. And I'm recording. I can't read it. Bigger. Okay. It's in my fourth. If I could talk, it'd be even better. And since it's in my fourth thought. So, also looking back, that was really loud. The flower repetitively. So as I'm painting the flower, I'm looking at myself and I should be looking at you. This is a tricky sentence. Okay, cobalt blue and dioxazine. I doubted myself, the concept of relativity. Hi.